Welcome back. If you live in North Texas for any amount of time, you have no doubt heard of the Cooper Fitness Center. Now, it was originally the Cooper Aerobics Center back in the day because in 1968, the founder, Dr. Kenneth Cooper, released his first best-selling book, Aerobics. And for most people, he's considered the father of aerobics. So for 45 years, it's been hard to believe that we ever lived without that word or that concept. And joining us now to explain that concept and the legacy is Dr. Tyler Cooper, Kenneth's son, who is continuing his father's work. So, Dr. Cooper, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Jump off on this television show just briefly. So
Absolutely.
You've never seen the show or watched the show?
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
So she loses 155 pounds, goes from 260 to 105. She's a small woman. So the tweets are that it's unhealthy. I think it was about a 6-month period, supervised with doctors. But it's also a game show, a television show.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, does that look healthy to you?
No, the pictures you just showed definitely didn't look healthy. She looked like she was verging on becoming anorexic. And certainly I'm not in the situation, and I don't know, but that quick of health loss can actually, or that weight loss can be really dangerous.
In what way? On your heart?
On your metabolites, or the electrolytes in your body. It can cause metabolic problems. It can, I mean, it ultimately can become very serious, hospital,ization, these sorts of things.
Could she become anorexic as a result of this?
Well, anorexia is more of a mental disease, but certainly physically it could. And you wonder, those dramatic swings that you see, how did she get up to that high to begin with and then swing so low? You don't.
A broken heart, and she ate.
Is that what it was?
Ate, yeah.
And she was an athlete before. You know, it's interesting because people want to feel good about themselves, so we celebrate that because she feels great about herself, and she won $250,000. But it's a long-term thing.
It is.
You feel great today, but where are you in 6 months?
Our goal is moderation. Our goal is to lose weight in a reasonable, feasible way that you can maintain it, because weight is the end result of two things. It's what you put in your mouth and what you do with your body. And if you do those things well, weight will come off naturally, and you'll be able to sustain it and have a healthier life. But when the number is the goal, that usually tends to lead you in a way that's not so good.
Let me ask you, Dr. Cooper, about your dad. And it's important to point out he's alive and well.
Doing great.
He's doing great, and I presume he still comes to work at the Cooper Center. But you've taken over the business and the running of the facility.
A few years ago I came back, and he and I work well together. You know, just anecdotally, he just got back from Antarctica. He was there, 83 years old, and he's touring Antarctica.
Fantastic. So. What do you think he hopes his legacy will be in the future, having started the term aerobics, as we mentioned in the open, and not just here in North Texas, but nationwide, even globally?
Well, I think it's hard to imagine. Most people don't understand when he started this whole concept in 1968, exercise was not something that people did. It was not perceived as something that was good for you or healthy. In fact, when he first wrote his first book and started the promotion of exercise, he was being told that he was going to kill more people than Hitler by the promotion of jogging. Just unfathomable to think of now. In fact, you'll appreciate this story. My mom's on the cover of a magazine back in the early 70s, jogging with her friends, and the title of the article is, "Is it appropriate for women to sweat?" So we've come a long way since those early days, and so for him in his lifetime to see the traumatic effect that he's had on causing the world to exercise, I would venture to say, certainly biasly, that he's done more for the world from anyone in Dallas than has before. And what we recognized and what his greatest wisdom and vision was to start the Research Institute to actually prove the beneficial effects of exercise. That we know that we put out a landmark study in 1989, first study ever that showed the beneficial effects of exercise, that just 30 minutes of general cardiovascular exercise 5 times a week will make you live 6 years longer.
Wow.
You've had a big unveiling at the center. Tell us about that.
One of our businesses at the center is our fitness center, and it was originally built in the early 70s, remodeled in 1982. And just today we unveiled the remodel that is now bringing it up to date. Added a lot of new space, very luxurious, the finest in equipment. But what we're most proud of is the knowledge that when someone comes to us, unlike maybe what you saw on the TV show, our goal is to improve both the quality and the quantity of their life through a safe, effective, healthy program that's related to diet and their exercise. And that probably sets us apart from some of the fitness centers you may walk into.
You know, you have to be smart about not being trendy, but being consistent.
Right.
Because there's all kinds of trends in healthcare.
Oh, absolutely.
And most of them don't last.
Right. I've been around to see a lot of them,
you have,
as my dad has as well.
The water diet was one of them.
Right.
That was crazy.
Fad diets are generally not the way to go. If you just moderate your calories just a bit, exercise just a bit, you'll see tremendous benefit. It just, that's the message that we try to get across, is it really doesn't take much effort to be healthy. If you can just get a little discipline in your life to those two things, you'll see tremendous benefit, but slowly over time, unlike some of the other things you might see.
Are you excited about some of the advances in technology that we're seeing now with some wearable devices and new pieces of software or electronics that help us monitor our health?
Absolutely, and monitoring is great, but at this point, anything that's going to motivate, and lots of people like to see numbers and see the progress they're making is great motivation. But I do think in the next 10 years, that's where fitness is going, that you'll be able to wear devices that do a lot more than just measure steps, and actually can moderate your, or can monitor your exercise and turn around and actually tell you what to do going forward with your exercise. There's a lot going that way.
Pretty soon I'll just be able to plug something into the back of my head and get healthy. Isn't that where we're headed?
No, it's just going to talk
like
you.
This?
No, it's just going to talk you into getting healthy.
That's
it's a bad voice, Jeff.
That's
it's a bad
Dr.
voice.
Tyler Cooper, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We
It's
really
appreciate
appreciate it. Congratulations to all the many successes your family has had, and many more in the
Thank you
future.
very much. Thank you.
Coming up next on the Texas Daily, we'll meet an iconic band from the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. These guys have been performing every year since the very beginning, and Don Wall is going to give us an up-close and personal listen. That's coming up next.